cheerleaders get kidnapped by an insane man and take advantage of them every night. Chelsea's day takes an unexpected turn when her friend Mia reveals she sent risky pics to Dylan. Chelsea, wary of drama, heads downstairs to find her mom immersed in Halloween decorations and her sister, Christina, engaged in a phone call, seeking a ride to school. Chelsea is met with a firm no and advice to reconcile with Christina. VR Cowboy and Mia have been chatting more than frequently. And at school, VR Cowboy bombards Chelsea with texts, but she brushes them off. Invited to party with Dylan and Seth. Mia then ditches Chelsea for Dylan, leaving her alone with Seth, who makes an unwanted advance. Chelsea navigates the twists of this roller coaster day, determined to leave the drama behind. The following school day, Chelsea spills the beans to Mia about her hasty escape from Seth's advances. To add to the chaos, Dylan pops up and locks lips with Mia, forcing Chelsea to seek solace in responding to VR Cowboy. As it turns out, VR Cowboy is none other than Brad, who dives into some playful flirting. However, the budding connection is abruptly halted by the appearance of the security guard, who snatches away Chelsea's phone. Chelsea faces post-school discipline from her mom, resulting in a month-long phone ban. Determined to combat boredom, Chelsea entertains herself without a device, but Mia provides a spare phone with ulterior motives. To use Chelsea as an alibi for rendezvous with Dylan, this revelation sparks an argument, leading to hurtful accusations and Mia storming off. With little to do, Chelsea chats with Brad about her life's misery, embellishing with fake cheerleading photos from Christina's room. The online interaction progresses to a video call, yet Brad's face remains blurry due to his supposedly broken phone camera. Fast forward 3 weeks, and Chelsea and Brad's connection deepens. Chelsea proposes taking things offline, suggesting they meet in person. Brad agrees, but as they discuss plans, Chelsea overhears a girl on his end, Sadie, his sister. Tensions rise momentarily, but they manage to navigate the situation. Undeterred, Chelsea and Brad settle on a plan to attend a warehouse Halloween party, with Chelsea opting for a zombie cheerleader look and Brad donning the guise of a zombie quarterback. On Halloween night, Chelsea concocts a tale for her mother, claiming she'll stay home, distributing candies to the trick-or-treaters. However, once the coast is clear, she stealthily makes her way to the agreed-upon venue where she's set to meet Brad. To her surprise, Brad is decked out in makeup with a football helmet covering his face. He thrusts a bottle of alcohol into her hands, insisting they finish it before hitting the road to avoid getting caught, hesitant but under the influence. Chelsea succumbs to peer pressure and gulps down the entire bottle, feeling the effects take hold. In her inebriated state, Chelsea is guided to Brad's car, where he ties her up and ruthlessly destroys her phone before driving off. She wakes up in a chilling basement, bound by chains, as Brad intermittently appears, insisting on calling her Sadie and resorting to violence when corrected. Chelsea finds an unexpected companion in a rat that devours her spilled food. Teased with water by Brad, she eagerly drinks, only for him to drop the sustenance in the dirt when she sarcastically replies as Sadie. Unfazed, Chelsea consumes the contaminated food. And as Brad departs, she spots rat dung and later discovers a trap that captures the creature. In mourning, her connection with the rat symbolizes her dwindling hope. A flicker of light reveals another cheerleader. Meagan introduces herself as Sadie, using the alias to conceal her real name. Following Brad's command, Meagan frees Chelsea from her chains. Panicking, Chelsea attempts a desperate escape from the basement, only to find herself thwarted by locked doors and windows, trapped in an unfolding nightmare. Caught by Meagan, Chelsea is warned against misbehavior and pressed to erase footprints from the carpet meticulously. Observing Brad engrossed in his computer upstairs, Chelsea complies with Meagan's insistence on perfection. Led to another room, they encounter Heather, adopting the name Sadie. Inquisitive, Heather presses Chelsea for her real name, but she insists on being Sadie, earning their approval. Heather departs to bake a cake for Brad, leaving Meagan in charge. Chelsea is ordered to strip and clean. But when she requests privacy, Meagan becomes enraged, compelling Chelsea into the tub. Post-cleaning, Meagan insists on bleaching Chelsea's hair to match Brad's preferences. During this, Brad, equipped with a camera-filled headgear, brandishes a knife, reenacting a disturbing scene. With bleached hair, Chelsea discovers an injured Tina in the adjacent room, attempting to assist her and facing sudden accusations of betrayal. Simultaneously, Brad, suffering a headache, recollects a disturbing memory of the real Sadie mocking him. Snapping back to reality, he finds Heather baking a cake, advances on her in a disturbing turn, and violently slams her head onto the table after her reluctant agreement. Heather, bearing a bruise, visits Chelsea's room, dismissing the need for medical attention for Tina, as Brad wouldn't allow it. Angered by the lack of resistance, Chelsea questions their escape attempts, and Heather warns her of the consequences, despite the dark reality of their captivity becoming apparent. Heather unexpectedly takes Chelsea under her wing, promising outside time through a virtual reality headpiece. Brad allows this illusion of freedom, but abruptly ends it, instructing them to proceed to dinner. Heather discreetly advises Chelsea to save food for Tina, hinting at limited rations. During dinner, Chelsea teeters on punishment for eating without Brad, triggering a tense moment. Brad manipulates her emotions, fabricating a story about her father's early return, and congratulating her for surpassing her sister. After dinner, Heather reveals she's been captive for 3 years, now deemed perfect and granted freedom. Brad, plagued by headaches and memories, declares Heather's final performance. In the basement, wearing a VR headpiece, Brad instructs Heather to perform a cheer dance, revealing a knife. Terrified, she attempts to flee, but Brad ruthlessly cuts her arm, revealing his belief that she's his sister. Succumbing to madness, Brad stabs Heather in the stomach and slashes her throat, proclaiming his intent to watch her die repeatedly. A chilling manifestation of his disturbed psyche. In a haunting moment, Brad enters Chelsea's room to find her asleep and struggles with conflicting emotions. Hesitating to touch her, he places his head on her chest, breaking down in tears. Startled awake, Chelsea freezes in fear as Brad lingers, but abruptly hears Sadie's voice in his head, prompting him to leave. Shaken, Chelsea wraps herself in a blanket, trembling in terror. The next day, as Meagan communicates through a wall hole, Chelsea discerns the signs of Stockholm Syndrome affecting her friend, with Meagan warning Chelsea to stay away from Brad. During breakfast, Chelsea strategically depletes the ketchup supply, intentionally provoking Brad, who retaliates by confiscating her food. Meagan's amusement provokes Brad's annoyance, leading to the denial of outside time. In a conversation with Tina, Chelsea learns a grim truth. Brad impregnated Tina, resulting in a desperate escape attempt and subsequent violence. Tina pleads for assistance in an overdose, initially rejected by Chelsea. Tending to Tina's wounds, Chelsea discovers an infection, and, in a dark bargain for escape information, reluctantly agrees to help unraveling the horrifying captivity's web of torment and desperation. In the shadows of a haunting day, Chelsea tends to her cleaning duties and discovers a picture of the real Sadie in the living room, snatched away by Brad with a stern warning. Tina alerts Chelsea that Brad is busy mowing the backyard, providing instructions on accessing pills from his nightstand and unlocking doors. Successfully navigating locked doors, Chelsea retrieves pills and Heather's necklace from Brad's room, contemplating seeking help online from his office, frustrated by a password obstacle. She races to erase evidence, but Brad returns. In a tense moment, Chelsea intervenes as Brad attempts Tina's demise, proposing to end her life herself. Embracing the dark opportunity, she suffocates Tina, horrifyingly realizing a disturbing connection with Brad. In his office, he shows her a video of Heather's death, and Brad seeks Chelsea's input on killing Meagan, deepening the darkness of their shared reality. In a desperate bid to save Meagan, Chelsea resorts to a harrowing strategy. She seduces Brad, feeding his vanity by praising his perfection, and manipulates him into believing they share a deep connection. This ploy successfully diverts Brad's attention, and he takes Chelsea to his room for an intimate encounter. Once their unsettling liaison concludes, Brad escorts Chelsea back to her room, leaving her alone to confront the emotional toll of her actions. In the solitude of the night, Chelsea breaks down, succumbing to tears as she drifts into an uneasy sleep. The following day, Chelsea's attempt to end her life with painkillers proves unsuccessful, leading only to bouts of vomiting. At breakfast, Brad's unnerving gaze fixates on her, catching Meagan's notice. Brad casually mentions testing a new VR camera. Meagan eagerly volunteers. As Chelsea rises to clean the table, Brad's inappropriate touch draws Meagan's ire, sparking a confrontation. Brad intervenes, directing Chelsea to take Meagan to her room. Alone with Meagan, Chelsea reveals the grim truth about Brad's heinous acts, showing her Tina's lifeless form and disclosing Heather's fate. Despite the evidence, Meagan remains blinded by her infatuation, rushing downstairs to inform Brad. Frustrated by the betrayal, Brad locks both Chelsea and Meagan in their respective rooms, leaving them at his mercy. During a secret conversation through the hole in the wall, Chelsea urges Meagan to collaborate for their survival. However, Meagan remains steadfast in her belief in Brad's innocence. In the meantime, Brad heads to the basement to test his cameras, providing a window of opportunity for Chelsea's escape. Seizing the chance, Chelsea flees through Tina's room, liberating Meagan, and together they sneak into Brad's office. Chelsea exposes the disturbing footage of Heather's death, evoking a visceral reaction from Meagan. Unbeknownst to them, Brad returns, catching them in the act. In a swift move, he drags Meagan back to her room and ties Chelsea up, hauling her to the basement, where the sinister depths of their captivity darken further. As Chelsea's screams echo through the basement, Meagan, torn by guilt and compassion, decides to help. She breaks down the wall separating their rooms and escapes through Tina's room. In the basement, Brad, hurt by Chelsea's deceit, readies himself to kill her, wearing his camera headpiece. Before he can carry out his sinister plan, another headache hits Brad, triggering memories of his dark past. Years ago, he killed their mother in a twisted pursuit of eternal companionship with Sadie. Tragically, Sadie took her own life to escape being with him. In the kitchen, Meagan manages to unlock a drawer containing knives and grabs the largest one, determined to save Chelsea. In the basement, Chelsea endures a brutal beating from Brad, following the suggestion she made the night before. Fighting back, she throws a rock at him. Meagan enters, attempting to stab Brad, but he easily overpowers her. Brad resumes his attack on Chelsea, but Meagan, undeterred, rises and stabs him in the back. Brad collapses weakened, allowing the girls to retaliate and beat him. Seizing the opportunity, they take his keys and head towards the front door. Their escape, however, hits a snag as Brad recovers, grabbing Meagan and choking her. Thinking on her feet, Chelsea seizes the camera headgear and smashes Brad's face with it. The girls manage to open the front door and break free into the outside world. Seeking help from passersby, they finally make calls to their families. Months later, Chelsea attends therapy, struggling to open up about the horrors she endured. Brad, on the other hand, resides in an asylum, haunted by a bloody image of Sadie. Meanwhile, elsewhere, two 13-year-old girls agree to meet a stranger online, signaling a disturbing continuation of crimes. The aftermath paints a chilling portrait of survival, trauma, and the unsettling cycle of darkness. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Black's Movie Recaps. Until next time,